There is no dearth of mutants in the X-Men universe. In a world filled with mutants with various capabilities, there are bound to be some that are a bit more out there. And today's video is about one such mutant called Spyke. Spyke had the ability to project bony spikes from his body, somewhat like a human porcupine, which really set him apart from the rest. Interestingly, he was not created for the comics, and had his first appearance in the animated series X-Men Evolution. Keep watching as we dissect Spyke's mutant anatomy and unique powers. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. How did Spyke discover his mutant abilities, and what were the consequences? Born in the heart of New York City, young basketball player Evan Daniels lived a seemingly ordinary life until his mutant abilities burst onto the scene. Gifted with incredible powers, Evan found his life turned upside down after a nail-biting high school basketball game when his aunt, the legendary Storm of the X-Men, and his teammate Pietro, soon to be the mutant we better know as Quicksilver, caught wind of his newfound talents as his spikes revealed themselves on his arm by mistake. His mutant powers ran in his family, as is evidenced by his Aunt Storm, being one of the strongest mutants in the X-Men team. Evan himself was aware that he was not a regular human, but believed that he could keep his powers under control. However, knowing that this young mutant was in need of guidance, Storm, along with Cyclops and Jean Grey, approached Evan's parents, revealing his mutant potential and putting forward the possibility of attending Xavier's school. However, fueled by a mix of anger and fear, Evan rejected the offer, venturing out on his own instead. He did not want to leave his home and school and be sent to a school for special kids. Thus, determined to embrace his identity and help others using his mutant powers, Evan confronted the mysterious locker thief plaguing his school. However, things took an unexpected turn here as well. Evan realized that his teammate, Pietro, was both a thief and a fellow mutant. Evan faced a new reality as Pietro wreaked havoc in the school and left Evan behind to be arrested, making him the scapegoat. Evan's family bailed him out of jail, and he decided to take down Pietro and clear his name, thus adopting the code name Spyke. He aligned himself with the X-Men, guided by Charles Xavier's wisdom. In a thrilling showdown, Spyke, aided by Jean and Cyclops, defeated Quicksilver, exposing his misdeeds. Finally, Evan grew into his powers, fusing his unique abilities with a resilient spirit. Spyke's story is one of transformation, camaraderie, and a powerful determination to stand up for justice in a world that often misunderstands extraordinary gifts. What are some of his unique abilities and powers? Evan Daniels, aka Spyke, possesses a mutant power that's both unique and impressive: rapid bone growth. Inside his body, retractable bone spikes await his command, ready to extend for offense, snagging foes, or gripping objects. He can also shoot these bone growths like projectiles to harm or trap his targets. To sustain his powers, Spyke frequently fuels up on calcium-rich milk, countering the calcium loss caused by his abilities. Moreover, his extraordinary self-healing ability effortlessly seals his spike-projecting wounds, without leaving any scars on his body. But that's not all. Remember his rivalry with Quicksilver? Spyke desired the speed Pietro had, and aimed to achieve it by mastering skateboarding. He skillfully translated his skating expertise into combat abilities, becoming agile in battles. In fact, he often transforms the streets into his personal battleground, navigating fights with skillful carves and moves. As his powers evolve throughout the show, he gains heated spike tips for added impact, allowing him to cut through tougher materials like steel. He also acquires the talent to generate small spikes on his feet, granting him wall-crawling prowess reminiscent of Spider-Man. Additionally, he gains enhanced strength and protective plates on his body, further fortifying his defense. All these new and upgraded powers are attributed to a substance known as Power 8. Although the beverage was safe for humans, it caused mutants to lose control over their abilities. As a result, Evan was no longer able to retract his bony protrusions, exacerbating his condition. This forced him to withdraw from public human life. From bone spikes to blazing tips, scaling walls to shredding on his board, Spyke's powers are woven into a captivating tale of mutant might and adaptation. How do his self-replicating skeleton and rapid bone growth work? Spyke's self-replicating skeleton and rapid bone growth stem from his unique mutant physiology. From what we can discern, he possesses a distinct endoskeleton, since the spikes appear to generate from within his body. Considering this, it's highly probable that specialized cells within him undergo rapid division, facilitating the continuous production of bone tissue. These cells are triggered by his mutant gene, propelling accelerated bone growth. This ability allows him to generate spikes on his body and propel them as projectiles. Consequently, his retractable bone spikes are a manifestation of this heightened bone growth. By utilizing muscular contractions, Spyke can precisely extend or retract these spikes at will. To sustain this rapid bone production, he draws calcium from his diet, with a preference for calcium-rich foods like milk, to replenish the minerals lost during power usage. Thus, his constant craving for such foods is a prominent feature. Lastly, in combat scenarios, he consistently employs his spikes as both projectiles and defensive mechanisms in close-range battles. His hot-headed nature makes him ever ready for a fight, contributing to his reputation in that regard. How did Power 8 change his life and abilities? Remember how we talked about Spyke gaining new powers and evolving into a much stronger mutant? Well, here is how it all happened. Spike's altercation with Power 8 takes place in Season 3 of X-Men Evolution, in the episode titled Extreme Measures. Power 8, a seemingly innocent energy drink, took Evan Daniels, aka Spyke, on a roller coaster ride of unforeseen consequences. He was first introduced to the drink when the company began advertising a skateboard competition in his school. As someone who loved skateboarding and speed, it piqued his interest, wanting to participate. However, the company hid a dark secret. The drink was harmful to mutants. In fact, an underground group of mutants called Morlocks also actively opposed the production of Power 8. Coming back to the skateboard competition, as expected, Spyke performed exceptionally well and outclassed his fellow competitors. However, at the competition's conclusion, a revelation surfaced. Spike's mutant status was exposed. Consequently, others assumed he held an unfair advantage, leading to the judges questioning the validity of his victory. Feeling deprived of his rightful triumph, a furious Spyke opted to exit the competition. While leaving, he impulsively seized a Power 8 drink, unscrewed its cap, and took a sip, oblivious to the hazardous content within the beverage intended for mutants like him. As the liquid circulated through his veins, an initial surge of vitality pulsed through his body. Yet, this momentary rush was a mere prelude to the impending storm. In a matter of moments, his distinct mutant DNA triggered an unprecedented reaction. The toxic elements within the energy drink interacted with his genetic composition, initiating a chain reaction that reshaped his abilities in unfathomable ways. His once meticulously controlled bone spikes turned unruly and uncontrollable, causing him to endure intensified pain. Rapid bone growth surged to perilous levels, leading to the uncontrollable and agonizing enlargement of his spikes. Wrestling to regain control, Spyke found even retracting his spikes to be an arduous task. The very poison that promised enhanced power wreaked havoc on his abilities, rendering him powerless. As the situation escalated, Spike's health deteriorated. His body wrestled against the toxic effects, and his regenerative abilities worked tirelessly to counter the damage. This led him to seek refuge in the sewers, as his control over his powers slipped, and his appearance no longer allowed him to fit in with humans. Initially aided by the Morlocks, Spyke found support, and eventually, the X-Men came to his rescue. However, this ordeal forever transformed Spyke. He gained the newfound ability to generate heated tips on his spikes, amplifying their destructive potential and enabling them to penetrate and slice through steel. Additionally, his upper body became shielded by robust plates and protrusions, forming an almost impenetrable exoskeleton. This exoskeleton not only bestowed upon him superhuman strength, but also remarkable durability and exceptional endurance. Exploring Spike's physical appearance. As far as the X-Men Evolution animated series is concerned, Evan looked like a young African-American man, roughly between 15 to 18 years old, standing at 5'7" with a strong, muscular physique. His striking features included blonde hair and deep brown eyes. Embracing his superhero persona as Spyke, his attire was crafted from a unique fabric that was made to conceal the punctures resulting from his bone spikes. The focal elements of his outfit comprised a simple white tank top, coupled with tan shorts, reflecting his functional and straightforward approach to crime-fighting style. Spyke looked far different in the comic books, much older than his animated series counterpart, and far more menacing. He was an African-American man of large, muscular build and had many tattoos all over his body. He also sported cornrows in his long, dark hair and wore sparkly studs in his ears. All in all, he could possibly be a grown-up version of cartoon Spyke, but as far as looks go, they are incredibly easy to tell apart. What is the difference between Spyke in X-Men Evolution and Spyke in Marvel Comics? Apart from the distinct spelling of their names, Spyke and Spyke, the Marvel Comics version is notably older. Moreover, he had no affiliation with Storm, unlike the original cartoon Spyke. He was neither related to the X-Men nor ever associated with the team in his history. Additionally, comic book Spyke exhibits greater control over his powers, although his abilities are arguably of lesser intensity compared to those of the cartoon Spyke. As previously discussed, their appearances are markedly dissimilar, solidifying them as two distinctly separate characters.
That's it, I'm out of here. Ah! Why don't you stick around for a while?
Is Spyke immortal? Long story short, Spyke is most likely immortal, since he has never shown any such tendency. While he does possess a robust healing factor that regenerates his bones and seals any and all puncture wounds, he is certainly not impervious to all forms of injuries. Post his evolution, thanks to Power 8, he gained enhanced durability and increased resistance to injuries. However, while he may be difficult to kill, he could still be defeated if it came to that. After undergoing significant physical changes due to Power 8, Spike's prominent role in the series diminished as he went underground with the Morlocks. However, he resurfaced in a subsequent episode, this time defending the Morlocks against hate crimes. Sporting a further mutated appearance, he acquired the ability to ignite his spikes. Despite continuing as a Morlock member, he joined forces with the X-Men to confront Apocalypse. In the team's concluding image, he's depicted wearing a modified version of his original outfit, hinting at a potential future reintegration into the X-Men. Do you believe that Spyke should have a greater presence in X-Men media? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.
Big deal. I got it under control.
Bless you.